Good morning, fellow app makers. Behzad is here from Code Simplifier. Welcome back to video number 3 of how to design and develop tip calculation application using Kotlin languages. This is what we've done so far. We've set up two user interfaces components in our application. The first one was the amount of the service that the user is going to pay for the service, and the second one was a question asking about their satisfaction of the service. In today's video, we are going to develop our user interfaces to make our application more real and more beautiful. The user interface that we are going to develop today, we call it RadioGroup. The RadioGroup, if you imagine, it look like a container which it holds radio buttons inside it. The reason we are using the RadioGroup is because we are going to control the attribute of all the radio buttons inside that radio group. What does that mean? Imagine you are going to set up some radio button in your application, as I show you here. Because these radio groups has been set up individually, the user which is going to use your application, they can interact individually. But if these radio buttons are inside a container which can control the attribute of those, your application is going to be more efficient and more user-friendly. This is what we are going to do today. We are starting off with setting up our container, which we call it RadioGroup. Then the width is going to be wrap content, and the height is going to be wrap content. Then you need to close down your view, give some gap. Here we have an error because we haven't said that this user interface or this child where has to sit. This is an easy error to be fixed. All you have to do, go to your start tag, put the start of our layout aligned with parent. The start of this child is going to be aligned with the parent. This is how it looks like. Align it with parent and stick it to the edge. This is the container which we call a RadioGroup. Then we are going to say the top edge of this RadioGroup has to sit under this text view. The top edge is going to sit under this view, and we can fix it by top view constraint top to the bottom of, this is the attribute we are going to use, and the ID of the text view is service question. We are going to say the top edge of the RadioGroup is going to sit on the edge of the text view. Top edge sitting on the edge of this. Then we gives it some gap. We call it margin of 20 dependent pixel. We set up our RadioGroup as our main container, and now it is time to sit inside that parent some of their child and how they are going to sit next or align with each other. Come between two view, we need a radio button. Need a radio button, wrap content, close it. We are giving an ID to it. Amazing. Gives a text as a hint. Just call it amazing. And let's say the user is going to pay 20% of the tip for the service. We set another one. This on the service, change it to good and change the text to good, and it will be 18%. The percentage here are optional. You can put whatever you want, but we are going to put it as 20%, 18%, and 15%. Just add the radio button. Need one more. and here we say the service was okay, and we'll fix it, and the tip amount will be 15%. So the texts are highlighted. Use Android Studio suggests us to create those texts as our string resources. So we're going to create them as a resource, as a string resource. Alt Shift Enter, click OK, then converts the second one and the third one. In the RadioGroup tag, we need to tell the device how the kids are going, or how the childs are going to sit next to each other. We can either set them horizontally or we can put them vertically, which vertical setup for this application is more ideal. So that's what we are going to set it up. So I'm coming here. We are in our start tag of our RadioGroup. Put orientation as vertical, and that will set up all the radio groups or radio buttons on top of each other from top to bottom. Let's run our application to see how it's look like. This is how your app should look like. As you say, we have 3 radio buttons next to each other and the percentage of the tip that the user is going to pay. But one thing I don't know if you noticed or not is the radio buttons are empty. That means none of them has been selected. It will be more user-friendly if you are setting up your radio buttons as pre-default checked. What does that mean? For example, your app is going to start off with amazing service, and this button has been already checked unless the user is going to pay. That means we are doing the work for our user. How are we going to fix it? Come back to your application. In our RadioGroup, just put down checked button, that it will automatically check one of the button that which one you want to use, and we are going to go with amazing. As a preset default checked radio button, we set as amazing. So we restart our application to see how it looks like. This is how it's going to look like, and as you see here, we set it up as a pre-checked radio button as amazing. And if for any reason the user or the customer is going to check or change the percentage of the service, they simply can click it away. But as pre-default, it's been set up to our amazing. That's it for this video. If we are going to recap what we've done from the previous videos, we set it up some edit text which it asks for the amount of the service that the user is going to pay. Then we asked a question where they satisfied with the service or not. In today's video, we set it up our container called the RadioGroup, and inside that container we set up some child, and those child are going to represent the percentage of the tip that the user is going to pay. I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information, and as I promised from the beginning of this video series, I am going to share every single step as simple as I can, and I give you as much as examples as I could. But if you didn't get or you didn't understand what we've done, you can just simply write it down in a comment section and I will reply to you as soon as I can. This video series, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video if you enjoyed it, and write down your thought or giving me any feedback or welcome. Please put them down in the comment section below, and I will see you all next week. Have an amazing weekend. See you all later.